Season's greetings once again, and a very, very happy new year to you all. It feels good to be here to witness a brand new year. God is wonderful. God Almighty is faithful. Christia, does it feel to witness the new year?
It feels great. Happy New Year and welcome to the very first episode of Tax Matters in the year 2015.
Brand new year and a new beginning for the tax system in Nigeria. For the first time, taxpayers in Nigeria will, like their counterparts in advanced climes, have the opportunity to transact their tax businesses from the comfort of their homes, offices, or even in their cars. It is called e-filing, electronic filing, and the Federal Inland Revenue Service introduced this to corporate taxpayers in Lagos on Friday, the 12th of December, 2014. The other story that will come to you on this episode is the story of the Taxpayers Forum of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. In the year 2012, the TETFUND organized the first in the series, and in 2014, it came back to the same venue in Lagos to hold the Taxpayers Forum. Essentially, the TETFUND Taxpayers Forum is held to recognize and honor corporate taxpayers who over the years have dutifully paid education tax, 2% of accessible profit. Remember? The program is Tax Matters. My name is Olumuyiwa Matuluko, and with me is Christina Pius.
Welcome once again. On Friday, 12th of December 2014, the Federal Inland Revenue Service introduced the new electronic filing platform to taxpayers in Lagos. The platform had earlier been introduced to corporate taxpayers in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. What is e-filing? What does the FRS seek to achieve with the e-filing system?
As we all know, FRS is ensuring that voluntary tax compliance is made easy. That's what e-filing is all about. And it's also a way of entrenching efficiency in tax administration. E-filing is very key to the future of Nigeria, and that we cannot but emphasize.
To talk about e-filing, it's saying that you can conveniently file for tax just by using your computer, if you have access. If you don't, you can still go to the tax office and deposit physical documents. Now it's getting more and more interesting because information communication technology is very pervasive in our lives today. So everybody holds a cell phone today. And by the way, do you know that you can actually pay your tax from your phone now? You can actually pay your tax from your phone now because there are ancillary enablements that we have put in place to enable you file and pay. So beyond and besides the e-filing that we are here to talk about is the fact that today you can actually, just like you can buy your air ticket online, you can actually pay your tax online.
To underscore the importance of the event, the acting executive chairman of the FRS personally led the FRS delegation to the event.
The e-filing access application form is now available and can be downloaded from FRS website www.frs.gov.ng, or can be obtained from any FRS tax office nearest to you. We owe it to our country to support this noble idea aimed at improving tax administration in Nigeria. Tax revenue remains the most sustainable source of revenue in the country, and the recent events in the global oil market have once again got everyone to this realization. The diversification of Nigeria's economy remains the core of the ongoing transformation agenda, which will ultimately secure the expansion of our non-oil revenue base and we cannot but create the necessary environment for this, and the e-filing keys directly into this drive.
How does e-filing work?
The e-filing coming to you now, it has so many features that will benefit you. However, we need to take you through some of the requirements so that we're on the same page. You need Explorer 10, Google Chrome, and any Firefox to be able to log on to the site. The site is there again, the https /efiling.frs.gov.ng. Anywhere you are around the world, you can get it. A taxpayer was called. You have not filed. He said, where are you? In Texas. We now told him, okay, file your return there if you have the information. 3 hours later, we saw the return in our system. So the site is secured and is available anywhere you are in the world. What you require is to have your access right. And the access right is granted when you fill in access form. Your managing director will tell us what type of access to give you. Do you have a right to view return only? Do you have a right to file return? Do you have a right to do other things on the platform? That will be told, and access right will be given to you. It's followed by user ID, that is username and password, and they are both case sensitive. After a successful login, you have access to different menu of the platform. What you're required to do is to go straight to what you want to do with the system. If you have right to view only, you can only view declarations that have been filed only, you cannot go beyond that. But if you have a right to declare that is file return, you will now file your declaration.
FRS has spoken to us as Cabri. We've had cause to interact with the system for the e-filing, and we can say that it is a good package. It is a software that is going to help all taxpayers, because from the comfort of your offices, you can actually load your information. From the comfort of your offices, you can actually make your payments. And of course, it's going to eradicate the problems we have faced up to now regarding waiting to collect your receipt, regarding your processing time for TCC, and so on and so forth. So this morning, what I'm going to be doing is quite simple. Just a walkthrough of the e-filing system that we have, and for us to realize that it is actually a simple software, and I want to employ all and sundry to please embrace it, because it's going to make the workflow to move easily. And it's, of course, it's going to reduce, if not totally eliminate, the time that we waste looking for documents, and eliminate time that, even the cost of printing documents to go and support your documentation, your filing and report and the rest.
Mrs. Agbeyogi thereafter proceeded to take the audience through a demonstration of the e-filing platform. You may well ask, what does the taxpayer stand to benefit by utilizing the e-filing platform?
As the name implies, e-filing is you file your returns online. Your assessment, audit, everything, even the tax payment, you did online to make it easier for the tax administration and the taxpayer. It will make it more efficient, more transparent, because you are the one to file your returns. You will see your assessment, you make your payment, you can print your tax clearance certificate online instead of coming to our office.
There was palpable excitement among the stakeholders in attendance.
I would say that it's a welcome development in tax administration. Most of us have been clamoring for an improvement in our tax administration system, and with e-filing coming on board, we see ourselves moving towards the direction of the developed countries. Even though we're starting, but I believe we can get there one day.
This is an idea whose time has come, and we all have to put our hands on the deck to make this work. Excellent initiative. I commend the FIRS.
You know what interests me, madam, is the fact that you work for a tax-paying company and you have made this presentation. Are you saying that this is really working, this is up and running?
It has taken off. We at Capri have started using the e-filing. We have embraced it, and that's why I can come out today and tell taxpayers that they should embrace this because it is a good one. I would recommend it to all taxpayers. It is a welcome development. It is long overdue. It is very beautiful development for Nigeria as a whole.
I think this is an excellent development. The country has been yearning for this. Countries that are much smaller have gone way forward in trying to simplify the process of the tax filing, and I think FRS is coming at a time when the whole of the taxpayer community will embrace it with the whole of their mind and heart. It's still the pilot phase. We're having just the light taxpayer coming on stream, and very shortly it's going to be rolled out to the entire country.
And from the FRS?
E-filing is to bring tax compliance to taxpayers' comfort zone. You don't need to travel to Maiduguri to go and file return. Stay at home, connect to internet, and then file your return. If you have any question to ask, stay there and ask. If you want to amend your profile in the system, amend it there. If you want to apply for tax certificate, you apply it there. So the e-filing is an electronic platform where taxpayers interact with FRS virtually without going to FRS. We believe that the direct contact of taxpayer with tax office is one of the things that created some of this discretionary power that FRS use. We want to reduce such discretionary powers. Everybody will be treated transparently and on the same level. Process metrics are being built now so that any tax officer that leaves file on his table for more than 48 hours will be queried. The essence is to serve the taxpayer better for voluntary compliance. It's our hope that when the voluntary compliance increases, revenue will increase.
Human interaction of a tax officer will be reduced to minimum point. At that point, the corrupt practice will be reduced. And any taxpayer that is not filing what should be filed can be seen at the back end in tax office. And even the tax officer working on it is also being checked by the bosses in Abuja. It's not that one tax officer is doing something that is secret in his office, but all officers in the service will be able to see the workings of any tax office or tax officer.
How secure is the system?
We have what we call a SSL, that's a secured socket license. And apart from that, we are also deploying some other security gadgets, which I cannot be discussing publicly.
You will agree with me that tax payment just got easier, and it is for the benefit of all. Talking about benefit, taxpayers expect, or at least they feel happier when they see that taxes that they pay are being put to good use. Even though some will readily argue that there's no quid pro quo in taxation. That is to say, you don't get something exactly commensurate with what you pay simply because you have paid it. You don't get the road in front of a house tarred simply because you have paid higher taxes than your next door neighbor. It is not like investing in the capital market or putting money in a savings account. However, it is good when you get the feeling, when you can feel, you can see that taxpayer money is really, really in action. And that is what we can boldly say about education tax. The 2% that is paid by limited liability companies from their accessible profits.
Correct, Baba! Correct, My name is Chinedu. I am MD CEO, God Divine Wealth International Ventures Nigeria Limited. I get shop everywhere for Abuja. People, they help me. They want to be correct Baba like me. But no be that one, they make me correct Baba. Now say I dey obey the law and then I dey see better thing from government. That is why I go to collect my own Form A. Myself don't become correct Baba. No, you're my guy. go collect and fill your own Form A. Sharp, sharp.
If you dey live for Abuja, abi you dey work for Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, abi you be first man, army o, navy o, air force o, or even our friend police, or even foreigner, this story na for you. Form A na the form where you go fill make you take pay your correct tax, and you must to collect and fill your own between January and March every year. Make your government for fit to provide good things for you to jolly like good road, correct water, ogbonge education, light wey no dey shake eye, good security and other mechatan dem. Now oga supposed to go collect Form A from any office of Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) and share to people wey dey work with am. But if you refuse to collect your own Form A, law go gbab you. This story na from Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS).
Our next story is the story of the Taxpayers Forum, organized by the TETFUND, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, in Lagos on Wednesday, the 17th of December.
In the year 2012, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFUND, introduced and held its very first Taxpayers Forum to appreciate and recognize taxpayers who have been consistent in the payment of education tax. On Wednesday, 17th of December 2014, it was time for the second edition, and it was held at the same venue in Lagos. As there is no egg without the chicken, the layers of the egg, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, came up for special recognition.
The very special friend of TETFUND, the man without whom TETFUND cannot perform, the man that has effectively and always collected the funds for us to spend, the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, I know the executive chairman of Federal Inland Revenue came with a retinue of directors to demonstrate their support for TETFUND. I know you are here. Can you stand for recognition very specially? But I tell you, the other one that I guess are more in number here than anyone are the representatives of the Taxpayers Platform. And I know you will be recognized, you will see them come here. But let me very specially appreciate you for contributing to make this occasion a reality. And talking about tax paying, we could not have moved this event to a better venue than Lagos, where more than 50% of the tax of Nigeria is collected. That is the wisdom in bringing this event here.
Since the introduction of education tax in 1993, the FRS has been charged with the collection of 2% education tax, which is then passed on to the management of TETFUND.
Now, there is need to explain the purpose for this gathering, this annual ritual. The 2014 forum aims at achieving the following objectives. 1, it aims at creating an avenue for formal interaction with you, our esteemed taxpayers, with a view to appreciate you and also brief you on what we have been doing at TETFUND with the funds entrusted in us by the good people of Nigeria, the citizens. We are here also to honor some outstanding taxpayers that have contributed positively and consistently to education tax collection over the years. 3, we are here to present our scorecard and showcase our intervention activities to the public. We have different types of interventions. The normal intervention, high impact interventions, and in normal intervention, if we remember sometimes a few months ago, about 3 months or thereabout, we disbursed 912 million naira to each and every federal and state universities in this country, the highest in the history of TETFUND. 681 million for every federal and state polytechnic in this country. And 61 million for each and every college of education, federal or state, in this country.
And from the chief tax collector,
In the last 5 years, we have been able to collect about 830 billion naira in education tax. And we have remitted same to the relevant education tax account in the country. We are proud to be associated with TETFUND and what we have been able to achieve in the country in terms of educational development, and particularly delighted that the fund has not deviated from its goals and objectives. This event is of great importance to us as an organization in many ways. Firstly, TETFUND is bringing together our customers, the taxpayers across the country, the taxpaying public under one roof, and it is providing us, the tax authority, an avenue to meet with the people who have demonstrated and continue to demonstrate a very high sense of civic responsibility by dutifully paying their taxes. Secondly, the service holds very dearly the issue of educational development, and you have integrated some elements of this into our strategic plan over the last 5 years. We have a scheme that impacts positively on education both at the primary and secondary school levels with a student advocacy for tax initiative, STY, which today is the toast of primary and secondary schools across the country.
About 100 companies were recognized and presented awards. Dr. Musa Babayo is the chairman, board of trustees of TETFUND.
Chairman, sir.
Thank you so much.
I want you to wear two caps.
Yes.
You are in a vantage position being chairman of the TETFUND. Yes. You know what monies have gone across to the benefiting institutions.
Yes.
But then, if you were now to wear the other cap as an observer,
yes,
would you say that the institutions have done justice to the money given to them over the years?
Yes, in the sense that some of the institutions have built the required capacity for assessing the allocations made to them, while others are yet to reach the optimum. And therefore, as a result of that inability to reach the optimum, we have a fairly large volume of unaccessed funds. You know, TETFUND funds are carefully managed and are disbursed based on a template, which we have revised as recently, about just 45 days ago, together with all the benefiting institutions in order to make the access easier and much more user-friendly. But a failure by any institution to meet the basic minimum irreducible objectives of accessing this fund at TETFUND level, we don't release funds to such institutions. And as a result of that, we have problems. The problems of lack of access. We have a fairly large volume of unaccessed funds, as I mentioned, but of recent, about 4 or 5 months ago, the level of unaccessed fund has started going down. As a result of the collaborative relationship we established. We had a 2 days collaborative workshop in Abuja, attended by all the managers of our tertiary institutions, all the polytechnics, all the colleges of education, and all the vice chancellors present, with the ICPC faculty led by their chairman present, and the TETFUND, to assess the reasons for some of these challenges. We address them. We work with a selected group to fine-tune the methodologies, and as a result of that, within a period of 37 to 38 days, additional 22 billion that was unaccessed before the workshop was accessed. The summation of all is that the fund is doing well in the areas of management of the tax fund, in the areas of disbursement of the tax fund, and from the attestation of the numerous speakers this morning and afternoon in the monitoring of the tax funds, the fund has a great potential. We are today the greatest and biggest interventionist agency in the whole of Black Africa. And our goal is to be the best in the world.
Once again, Alhaji Kabiru Mashi.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service has been specially recognized at this occasion, and we know that you, the FRS, collects the 2% education tax and you hand over to TETFUND. Would you say that this has been worth the while of the taxpayers?
From what we have seen from the testimony of the taxpayers, the general public, the TETFUND is doing well. And I'm happy that we are just like twins, FRS and TETFUND. We collect and pass it to TETFUND, and I'm happy they're using it judiciously, which will help us in voluntary compliance, because the taxpayer will see their money in action. So I think it's a success.
The story of education tax and its managers, TETFUND, will be told in fuller details very soon. So watch out for it. We want to thank you most sincerely for watching this very first episode of Tax Matters in the year 2015. Once again, Happy New Year. Best wishes for success in your businesses and in your personal lives. From Christina.
Bye for now.